Good evening, everyone. Or good morning, good afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. So, welcome back to Chasing Neat. I'm Michael.
Dawn. I'm Dawn.
Bueller.
Present.
K.A.A. Ron.
Ron.
So what do we have tonight?
So, you know what? We keep showing all these store hauls, festival hauls. It's Friday night haul. And we keep saying, we need to review these. So, we are getting ready to go on a vacation in the Gatlinburg area, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. But on our way down, we actually are going to stop at the Augusta Distillery in Augusta, Kentucky, which is just a little south of Cincinnati, Ohio. Maybe an hour away. I don't know if that's quite right. I looked at it a couple times, but just across the Ohio River. So Mike had purchased this bottle we have here, which is the Augusta Distillery, the 8-year Old Route 8, I think is what they call it. Do you remember where you got this bottle?
I want to say we got that at Tipsy's.
I don't know. Maybe we did. I don't know, because you came home with it and I was like, what is this Augusta thing? And then in the summer, in August, we went to the Bourbon Women's Symposium and met Alex Castle, who is the master distiller here of Augusta currently. She was originally from the area, moved away, her and her husband, and I can't remember, forgive me, I cannot remember where she went and came back from, but it doesn't matter at this point. We're going to learn more information about her and the distillery once we go on site to do a tour this weekend.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, quickly, the Augusta Distillery actually is going to start producing their own.
Yeah, they broke ground in 2023
of their own distillery.
A 40,000 square foot facility. They should be gearing up for 6,000 barrels a year.
That's a lot of barrels. Yeah, and this particular one, I believe, is one of their 4 or 5 expressions that they have sourced up to this point. And surprisingly, it's not an MGP Indiana source. It's a Kentucky source, although it doesn't really say so far really where all those sources are from. But I don't think it really matters, because I remember we tried this one when you bought it. Excuse me. And when we were at the symposium this summer, you actually tried.
I tried it when I went down to Bardstown to do this barrel pick.
Okay.
And the gentleman that invited me on that, shout out to Ross, you know who you are, carries around several bottles in the back of his car, and this was one of them.
Oh, really? Okay, so that's how you got introduced to it?
You know, I don't know if it was down there or if it was still out of Ross's trunk.
At a Ross trunk.
It may have also been at the raffle at Gay's.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's, Gay's Hops and Schnapps.
It was one of those. Same person, same trunk. Don't know which day. But,
yeah.
And I could have had them both places. So.
Yeah, I know. So now we have to kind of, when we actually buy these bottles, when we actually log them in our list, we probably should log when we actually tried them too. I'm not so sure that's 100% important that we know that, but it's just kind of fun
to have the history.
Yeah, kind of reminisce a little bit about when you first introduced to it, especially when you find something that you think is really delicious. And this one's going to be fun because it's a high proof, and it's 131.8.
Yeah, this comes in a little high, 131.7.
So it looks like all those Old Route 8s are single barrel, unfiltered cask strength. Right up my alley.
And 8 years?
8 years, yeah. So, which means if if it says 8 years on the bottle, it means it's at least 8 years old. It's the youngest of all whiskeys if they're blended or whatever in this bottle, or if it's a small batch or whatever. But this, actually, the say it's single barrel. So
yeah, the single barrel.
Yeah. So anyway, that
you're right,
barrel is 8 years old.
On any other thing that wasn't a single, it would be the youngest.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Anyway, let's try it.
So what do you get on the nose?
Wow. There's some ethanol right off the bat.
You're jumping out at me
Did
again.
it?
Yeah.
I get some baking spices for sure.
Oh yeah, strong. Allspice.
It's a sweet oak, maybe.
It's definitely sweet, a little oaky.
Yeah, it's definitely a more mature whiskey. You know.
Yeah, there's some complexity there because
Yeah.
I'm getting multiple hits on my nose,
Yeah.
which is a good sign. But it's sweet, which again is my profile.
You know, I feel a little bit like
Little orangey.
yeah.
Orange
I'd say
note.
some orange too.
All right, let's go in.
All right.
I'm feeling that proof. Woo.
Woohoo, doggy!
My tongue is a burning.
That is on fire.
That is not. Well, that's probably every bit of 131.
Oh yeah, it's woo. That's like stag, man.
Yeah. I mean, it hits you, but it also brings the sweetness and the flavor. It's a long finish. I'm still feeling it, but I'm also, there's that sweet candy apple.
Yeah.
Almost a green apple.
Yeah, I would say green
yeah.
apple. That's funny you said that because I wouldn't have picked that up, but then you said that.
Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, very much a Jolly Rancher green apple. Like not like the little short one, but the stick one.
Not Larry Rancher, but Jolly Rancher.
I didn't say Larry Rancher.
I was thinking it.
No.
That's
That
good.
That one is warm. You know, it's such a nice flavor to that though. I wouldn't want to mix that with anything. Maybe a little Sprite. Just to cut it light. Just a little bit. That's very flavorful.
Oh yeah.
And hot. But it's not as hot now after like that second sip.
But you're right. That would mix in 7-Up, Sprite. I think ginger ale would
Yeah.
the ginger would compete a little with it. I think Coke would kind of
Yeah, I think
mask it a little bit more,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
a clear beverage.
That has a bit of a grassy note at the end too.
Really? I'm going
I
for my
think-
second
Oh.
try. Yeah, that's got a really nice finish.
Yeah, that's really good.
My tongue's still burning. Still getting that, but it's still on the back of my throat, top of my palate, going up towards my nose. Man, my tongue is stinging off of that, but it's good. It's sweet. Yeah, again, candy apple is what I'm coming up with. Not a caramely strong candied apple, like a real thin coating around that candied apple,
Yeah.
or that red, the actual candied, not caramel apple, but candied apple, but on a Granny Smith.
I'm telling you. So sometimes I like to do with a high proof is actually just let it sit in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm getting that Kentucky.
I'm not getting that part because what I'm just describing is I'm letting it sit in my tongue just so that way kind of when it's a high proof for me, and I don't like that Kentucky Hug because Kentucky Hug to me feels like a heartburn. So if you hold on to that sip in your mouth, as long as you can tolerate it, sometimes that sip kind of starts to melt like butter. I'm telling you what, that one never melted like butter.
Yeah.
That was hot the whole entire time. So after I decided, okay, time to swallow, it was still pretty hot.
That's
But
what she said.
that's right. But it wasn't hot in my throat, so it was definitely hot on the front of my tongue for sure. So you may or may not like that part. I don't know. I think it's.
And if it's too hot, put some water in it. Put some drops, or put a cube of ice.
Yeah.
And drink it at the point that you're happy with that. Again, drink it however you want.
Yep.
Just there's different ways to drink it, but you will get flavor off that. You will get it won't get lost in that cube of ice.
Now, after this last sip, I don't really get much sweetness off of it. Maybe more sweet in the nose, but I feel like it's a little more grassy. But, like, not like grassy young.
Oh, there's my squeaky teeth.
Well, there's no rye in there. Well, it's a high rye. It said this particular mash bill, what they say was what, 75, 18, or 72? I can't remember. It about 75-ish, 18-ish.
18 and...
Whatever the rest
was
of the
it
math
18
is.
and 8?
Whatever the math is, I don't think it's right.
It was a high barley, too.
Yeah. Yeah, so corn, rye, and then malted barley, I think it was what we said, right? Man.
Dun, dun, dun.
So they have, so I was, when we were doing a slight bit of research on this old Route 8, all those different single barrels, of course, are all.
All right. 74% corn,
74.
18% rye, and 8
Okay.
malted barley.
So we were close. I said 75, but that math wasn't working quite. But yeah.
Okay.
Did you have a treat in that last sip?
And going forward, the next expressions are going to be 75, 20, and 5.
Which is not much different.
Yeah. A little bit more rye, a little less barley.
I guess that kind of keeps in concert with their what they contracted out. So if you like this is what I always find interesting is, like, for example, when we first realized years ago that Angel's Envy was MGP product, and then all of a sudden they started making their own distillate. And then when they start making their own distillate, it's like, how do they get people to buy into the fact that it used to be MGP finished in port barrels versus their own distillate to that? So the powers to be with those master distillers and their palates to try to keep that the same. So it makes sense to me why they would do a mash bill that's already similar to the stuff that they're already producing here in this bottle. You know, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. So there's a 13-year. I think they call that.
There's a
Buckner,
10-year,
though?
a 13, and a.
Well, 17. I think I just saw is just got
15.
released. So.
I just read it.
Oh, sorry.
10-year, 13, and a 15.
And 15. And I just saw an email last week that I think they have just
And a
literally this
17.
week is going 17.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Did it just get released? Yeah. So we'll see. I'm telling you guys know too, if you're contracting this stuff out, you know, these are not cheap bottles. I mean, so far, I think what's the MSRP on this one is like 180 something maybe, or close to that.
I will check it.
Yeah. Go to CO Box or the Booze app.
I'm going to the
The
Booze app.
The
Augusta.
Booze app. There you go.
So fair price is $155. MSRP is $114.
Okay. So the others then are a little higher
And then
than
the 10 is $152, and for fair price, and MSRP average is $149. Buckner's 15 is $299
Yeah, see?
for fair price, and
That's high.
MSRP $298. So it's
a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for something that's not yours, but I mean, I don't mean it like that, like it's not your distillate yet, but man, I mean, I thought Bardstown Discovery Series was expensive, but these are pretty expensive.
Or Four Gates.
Yeah, the Four Gates for sure. But you got to buy somebody else's juice, so, and then make money on top of it. So there you go. So,
And they're buying old stock, so it's not cheap to begin with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to get an 8, a 10, a 15, a 17, and their distillery hasn't even been completed yet. So it'll be interesting to see what the grounds look like. What little bit of research I did do for us going to Augusta this weekend, it looks like it's a really cute, quaint little old historic town. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What all is up.
And you'll see it on an upcoming video.
Yeah. So in the meantime, I mean, I don't know what else to say about this, but it's pretty good. If you like high proof, 131.7 proof is pretty high. I think I saw some other bottles that were like in the 124, 126 range. So, I mean, Are you going to put water in that one? It's going to make it hotter.
Dawn always gets hotter when she adds water. I don't get hot as much as I get.
That's pretty grainy. Which is kind of funny. I mean, it's 74% corn.
It's hard to get one drop.
Yeah.
I wanted 2, so I got 2 in there, but... And yes, we have eyedroppers. They're just upstairs. The bar is not finished yet.
There's no judging in bar implements.
That's right. The framework's done.
Yeah, well, I mean, who cares?
The dishwasher's in.
Who cares if you have a little hoity-toity squeezy bottle, you know? Because honestly, if you're sitting around with your friends, you're not like, oh, let me get my little special fancy little guy, right? You're just like, hey, try this with water. We do exactly what you just did. The little couple of drops from a cup of bottled water.
Drank it all.
I did. Do you think it's grassy at all?
No, I don't. I don't get a grass note.
I get a little grassy note on it. Ooh, hot.
It did tame it down.
Right.
My tongue's not stinging.
Tell you what,
I don't know if it brought out a whole lot more flavors.
Stronger.
Yeah, I thought the nose was a little bit more, not effervescent, but more impactful.
Yeah, effervescent. Like, it's like it made the proof come alive.
Maybe?
Oh, the ethanol, rather. Don't know if that one makes it hotter or not, because you had so little left in there. So, but anyway, I like it. I don't love it.
I'm definitely 2 thumbs up on it.
Yeah. It's hot though.
I'd buy it again.
Yeah, for what? $115 MSRP. So, be interesting to see what we taste this weekend down there.
I'd buy it for MSRP again.
Yeah. But we are excited to see what Alex Castle does with the new distillery.
Yeah.
So,
future episodes coming out as soon as they finish it.
as soon as they finish. Oh, the
distillery.
Oh, I'm like, as soon as they finish it, like they're going to do our video or what? That's your department. Anyways,
I wish.
On that note, we are going to call it a night, and let us know if you guys have tried Augusta Distillery Old Route 8. If you tried the 10, the 13, the 15. If anybody was lucky enough to grab a 17, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Or send us a sample.
Or send us a sample. Yeah. So, other than that, I guess we'll see you on the next video.
Well, they'll see us.
Well, yeah, we'll.
It's not like Romper Room where I see Sally and I
really?
see...
You just lost the whole entire crowd because most people don't even know what Romper Room even is.
All I know is it was the one thing I never watched because I couldn't stand.
I see Bobby. I see Joe.
But that was the last thing. And then what came on was Garfield Goose.
What?
Out of Chicago. Right after Ray Rayner.
What?
WGN. Big
Anyways, what is that whole
TV channel in
You said that
Chicago
was
in the early
Romper
days.
Room? Was that Electric Company?
No, Romper Room I think was just Romper Room.
All right, well.
It was just some lady with like a kindergarten
I
class.
see Buckner 10. I see Buckner 15. I see Buckner 17. I don't know what this whole thing is with this Buckner guy, but all I remember is Bill Buckner from the Chicago Cubs first baseman, but I'm sure we're not talking about baseball.
Not now.
Not now. All right, we're out.
All right.
See you guys.
Good night.